What up, YouTube Live? How's it going, everybody? Let's see. What time is it right now? 7:30 a.m. in the morning. What up, YouTube Live? It is Wednesday, October 20th, and I got a full day ahead of me today. But man, I just want to discuss this topic um this morning because I got a few thoughts about it. Um, and it's regarding Ruby Rose. Ruby Rose, of course, as you know, is the woman right here in this photo, this grainy selfie photo of me and Ruby back in the at the press junket for, I think it was the press junket for Triple X Xander Cage, the Triple X sequel movie. So I figured this is the fitting time to use this photo for this topic. I might change it for a much more flattering photo, of course, of Ruby Rose. But she released, I think the last 24 hours, right? Because if you put Instagram story, uh, the circulation is like only 24 hours. After 24 hours, the story would be gone. So she recently released a series of Instagram story posts where she exposed the nightmarish working condition on her previous show, Batwoman. Now, I've mentioned to you many times what I feel about Batwoman series. I hate that show. All right, that show sucked. I tried watching the first few episodes of the first season, and I just, for the life of me, I could not get into it. It was just so poorly written. It was just badly performed. Everything about it is just like terrible. I don't know why. It was so cheesy and crappy. It's just such a bad show. Um, and then Ruby Rose, as you remember, she shockingly left the show after just one season. And she had this all excuse about, I don't remember what it was, but everybody was like so surprised. It was taken aback, and everybody was like, "Whoa, what's going on? I thought you had this big role and you're gonna stick with it." But she left. And I remember, I think when that happened, I was kind of harsh on Ruby. I was telling, like, come on, Ruby, what's going on here? Like, this is a steady employment. Sure, maybe not be the greatest job ever, but a lot of actors out there would envy you, would give their left pinky to be in your position to get this steady employment. Not a lot of actors out there are this fortunate to work on a steady show like this. And then, of course, as you know, Ruby Rose went on to make some, lot of straight to digital movies lately. And so I question, like, her, choice of career. I was like, really, this is what you want to do? A bunch of straight to Redbox, straight to digital movies instead of like. But now I have to apologize to Ruby Rose. I gotta say, I'm sorry, Ruby Rose. I did not know your side of the story. Um, and it's true what they say, right? There's two sides to every coin, like two sides to every story. And now she has revealed it all, and I'm like, okay, I should have been on your side. Now I am. Um, so I tried to collect and piece together what she wrote on her Instagram story. Let me go to my folder here. It's a bit tough to read because I'm terrible at like cursive writing or cursive font, if you will. I'm terrible at reading them. But she basically calls out several people at CW, or yeah, or CW or WBTV, whatever you want to call it. WBTV is the distributor, I believe. CW is the channel. Um, and the production, of course, includes Greg Berlanti. So she calls out Carolyn Dries, who I believe, let me double check here, is yeah, is the showrunner, developer of the series. And she calls out Sarah Sector, who is a very prominent producer on a lot of CW superhero shows. Um, and she also calls out Greg Berlanti, of course, the Berlanti verse, right? They call it Arrow, The Flash, Supergirl, all of the superhero shows on CW. Greg Berlanti is behind them. Um, and she starts out by saying, "Enough is enough. I'm going to tell the whole world what really happened on that set, on the Batwoman set. I will come for you. So what happened to me never happens to another person again. And so I'm finally taking back my life and the truth. Shame on you." Woo! Peter Roth. Peter Roth is one of the producers of the show. "You are first up." Let's see here. Let me make it bigger so you guys can see it. Uh, you are chapter one. Not sure if you left after getting promoted to the highest position because you just could not stop making young women steam your pants around your crotch while you were still wearing said pants, or if you left after putting a private investigator on me who you fired as soon as the report did not fit your narrative. Either way, when it comes to you, there's already an army waiting for you. Damn. That sounds like something out of a drama movie, man. Like he even like hired a private investigator on Ruby. Jeez. What what are you? Holy crap. Um so Ruby Rose is trying to hashtag me to this guy, and this guy uh instead of like apologizing or instead of like hiding, he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna hire a private investigator." No shame, no shame at all. And then she also posted this uh what looks to be um some sort of an MRI photo or X-ray photo, I should say, not MRI. X-ray photo of let's see here. It cut to 3 weeks later after this video. It's worse than abnormal. This was diagnosed years ago on the set, but if I got an X-ray, we would not make our day. I've documented this for years. She seems to have broken something here, and I'm gonna go to Twitter to find out what that is. On top of that, because there had been reports in the past that she did get injured on the set of Batwoman, so this might be it. On top of that, I have enough documentations to make a 1 hour documentary. Pray tell, what else would you like me to share? The broken neck. Oh, there it is. The broken neck or the broken rib split into two, and the tumor. Holy crap. Am I reading this right? She got really injured on the set of Batwoman. Wow. Holy smokes. Um she posted a video as well with this post. "To everyone who said I was too stiff on Batwoman, imagine going back to work 10 days after this, after she got the surgery. 10 days. Or the whole crew and the cast would be fired, and I would let everyone down because Peter Roth said he would recast, and I just lost the studio millions of dollars by getting injured on his set. That is, be the one who cast so many people their jobs instead of spending half a day to rewrite me out for a few weeks to heal." So it seems that this dude Peter Roth is an a-hole, and he could not care less about Ruby Rose's physical condition. He would not let Ruby Rose some time to heal after surgery because he would rather think of The money, 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 the advertising money, the money. And the lot of budget that went into this show. We can't lose money. Back to the mine, Ruby. Back to the mine. Let's see what else did I screenshot here. Okay, so she said, "Imagine taking a huge pay cut to play a passion project and being so excited about Comic-Con and then being told they would not adjust the schedule so I could attend, but then saying we won't announce it, you have to." And me putting my foot down and saying, "Why must I be the face of this?" Only to be told if I didn't do this video, they would be silent and people would turn up to find out on the day I wasn't there. I folded. I wanted to do what it took, but then being told, "Cover your scar. We don't want to see that scar on the video." And you wonder why I posted my surgery video. Damn, what the hell, man? They're such jerks. It sounds like she wanted to go to that Comic Con instead of doing a video for the fans. And then when she like, you know what? Oh, okay, fine, I'll do the videos. They're like, but you gotta cover your scars. We don't want to see that. Ew. It's like, holy crap. That is so mean spirited. I mean, I've worked with a lot of bosses from hell, but this sounds like real bosses from hell. Like, I mean, this is how they treat their lead star. Imagine how they treat, you know, uh, the guy holding the boom mic. Imagine how they treat the craft service guys. Imagine how they treat the makeup team. Like, this is their lead star, and this is how they treat them. Holy crap, dude. Um, So, in closing, please, to my dear fans, sorry, the screenshot got a lot of stuff over. I can't read the rest of this. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I would not return for any amount of money, nor if a gun were to my head, nor did I quit. I do not quit. Okay, so now she has revealed that she did not, or at least she had no intention of quitting. Um, initially. They ruined Kate Kane and they destroyed Batwoman. Not me. I followed orders. And if I wanted to stay, I was going to have to sign my rights away. Any threats, any bullying tactics, or blackmail will not make me stand down. A crew member got third-degree burns over his whole body. Holy crap. And we were given no therapy after witnessing his skin fall off his face. But I was the only one who sent him flowers and cards, and then we're told we had to do a sex scene without a minute to process. We lost two stunt doubles. I got cut in the face, so close to my eye in a stunt, I could have been blind. A woman was left quadriplegic, and they tried to blame it on her being on her phone. So much so, CW did not even help her to start with because they needed to investigate, so she had to do a GoFundMe. She's a PA. They work via phones. Her accident occurred because our show refused to shut down when everyone else did because of COVID. Caroline Dries has no heart. Woo! All right, let's pause that. Holy crap. That's a lot of details. Wow, third-degree burns, no therapy. She's the only one that gave that person flowers. Nobody else cared. Um, I mean, she got cut in the face, so close to her eye. Could have been blind. And oh my goodness. Holy crap, dude. This is horrible. Horrible. And I'm glad she exposed this. Like, on a bigger picture too, when she said, our crew member got third-degree burns and did not receive any therapy, to tell you the truth, I'm not too surprised by that. We live in America. There's no universal health care. Healthcare is like it's only for the privileged, only for those who can afford it, because everything's private. So, and everything's at the mercy of your company. Everything's at the mercy of your boss, at the mercy of your workplace. So if they don't provide that healthcare, or if they don't provide that care, including therapy, then you won't get it. Um, because there's nothing universal on the bigger picture. Not like other countries where they actually take care of their citizens. So on that front, I'm not too surprised by that, but it's still shocking to hear it. Like, oh my goodness, this is how they treat their people. Um, and it sounds like Ruby Rose has a big heart, and so that's why I said earlier I have to apologize to Ruby, because when Ruby did not when Ruby decided that she did not want to do season 2, I was like, what's going on, Ruby? This is a steady employment. Like, a lot of actors would kill to be in your shoes, and you just gave that up. Um, but it's clear from this that she actually did not want to quit, and this is actually her passion project. She had every intention to continue it, but it's just too nightmarish of a work set to be part of any longer. Like, she's like, you know what, this is not cool, and I don't blame her. So I'm sorry, Ruby. I did not know this side of the story at all, but now I do. I think there's some more. Yeah. So she's now calling out the showrunner, Carolyn Dries, or the one who developed this show for TV. Carolyn Dries has no heart. I had to finish the season during the pandemic, and I told her it was a bad idea. I told her everyone was too distracted, constantly checking COVID updates, checking on Friends, and seeing Riverdale, The Flash, and Supergirl shut down already. Um, I felt something bad would happen, and Carolyn Dries maybe visited the set 4 times in a year, unheard of. But in those 4 or 5 visits, she decided she could tell me she knew my injury she knew my injury happened on the set, so I should comply with the PI. Yet later deny it entirely and said it happened during yoga. Oh my goodness! Ruby says I don't do yoga. And now someone will never walk again. We shut down the next day, not because she almost killed someone, but the government pulled it. Also, I fought people on the set. Yes, not because I wanted to, but because I wanted safety. Ask anyone in hair and makeup what I did for them after 2 were hospitalized. The only people who came out and spoke was Doug Ray. Doug Ray is her co-star, Doug Ray Scott, who almost played Wolverine, by the way. That's a fun fact. Brian Singer almost cast Doug Ray Scott, but Doug Ray had to do Mission Impossible 2, and then so that's when Hugh Jackman stepped in, and the rest is history. And so I'm glad Hugh Jackman became Wolverine. So anyway, the only people who came out and spoke was Doug Ray, who talked about unprofessional, called my agent after my exit to find a way to leave, to which she replied, break your neck, I guess, yet slam me in the press. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So Caroline only visited the set 4 times in a year. And then when she did visit those few times, she's like, telling her what to do, telling Ruby Rose what to do. Um, and she wanted the production to continue even during COVID. And then Ruby's like, What? Are you crazy? Look at everybody else. Look at Riverdale, The Flash, Supergirl. They're all shutting down. Um, But man, this Carolyn Dries seems like a piece of work. See, piece of work. Let's see here. Tyler's here. No wonder Batwoman's such a mess. Darnell Major. Batwoman wasn't that good anyway. Exactly right. It was terrible. Batwoman was terrible. So let's go to the next one here. What screenshot that I did? Let's see. Let me make it big for you here. Slam me in the press. I never raised my voice on a set. Never have. Doug Ray hurt a female stunt double. He yelled like a little bitch at women and was a nightmare. Whoa, snap. Snap. shots fired at her own co-star Doug Ray Scott, who almost became Wolverine at one point, and we're so glad that never happened. Doug Ray, he left when he wanted and arrived when he wanted. He abused women. He abused women, and in turn, as a lead of a show, I sent an email out asking for a no yelling policy. They declined. So Doug Ray, you know, is given like this freedom, man, to insult women on the set, to hurt a female stunt double, and to yell at them. And when Ruby says, "You know what? Can we have a no yelling policy, please? You know, respect each other, sort of thing." The powers that be at CW says no, no, because Doug Ray is a white cis male gender. You know, I'm speculating. That's the reason. No, we're not gonna have that no yelling policy. You know, he can yell at anybody he wants. So it's just God, it's such a terrible work set. Holy crap. Ruby continued. I was late one time because I was in a hospital. Whoever does these stupid leaks, I'm finding out who, but it's cameras who, after I left hospital, said, yeah, well, maybe if people were not late, we would not make our days. A kid, an egomaniac kid who worked one day a week, had the audacity, or the stunt department, who were furious, even though I never blamed them. Um, but I went on Fallen and spoke of my injury and did not play the game. Aside from them, I was loved and loved by my crew. Oh, and they wouldn't drive me to work and knew I could not legally drive after surgery. So they said, get a taxi. Oh, guys. Oh, oh, damn. Damn. This is how they treat their lead star, yo. Oh, you just got out of surgery? Yeah, get a taxi. We're not gonna send somebody to no, get an Uber, okay? Ruby, go get yourself a lift. I don't care if I don't care if we make money off your backs. I don't care if we make money, off of you. You know, you're not getting any special treatment. Oh my goodness, my goodness. Get a taxi. She is in a lot of pain, must have been on that at that moment. And she's just asking for some help, and they're not giving that help to her. It's just so horrible. Holy crap, dude. Holy crap. Um, so this she also posted the X-ray. I said MRI earlier. That's wrong. X-ray of her broken or her injuries. I think this is a spine, I believe, but I'm not a doctor. I don't take my word for it. So if you go on Twitter, obviously there had been so many reactions from the fans over this Instagram or this series of Instagram stories. Let's look at some of them. Um, let's go for the latest here. Let's go for the latest. Latest. Ruby Rose leaving no stones unturned. Damn. Uh, could Ruby Rose not have chosen a better font? Good for her for getting things off her chest, but man, make it easier to read, right? Right? I told you I'm not good at reading cursive, guys. So if you want to like send me a message or leave comment or whatever on Twitter or YouTube, don't do it on cursive font, okay, guys? Please, please, Ruby Rose, next time. Um, See, Ruby Rose expose is how I think a bad situation like this should be handled. She came out guns blazing with very clear accusations of what went down, providing specific examples with quotes rather than a series of half truths and vague comments. Um, I think that might be a little, a bit of a shot at Ray Fisher, because Ray Fisher, I mean, good on him for calling out WB for their mistreatment on the set of Justice League under Joss Whedon. But if you recall, Ray Fisher, when he was trying to expose WB, it was like he did it in a cryptic way. You know what I'm saying? Un- Until he finally revealed all. there were like many moments when he was just like giving you hints instead of just like just give it to us already. Just like tell us, just tell what happened. But he was like so cryptic for like the longest time. I think that's what True to Vaccinate here is trying to insinuate. I think it's a little bit of a shot at Ray Fisher here. Um, why are people waking up and acting surprised to the news? I think he's trying to say news of DCCW shows not having great working conditions with Ruby Rose when multiple black actresses and actors have come out about WBCW's lack of response on set fandom abuse, including Ray Fisher. Um, so I guess I guess the question is: are any of the current stars, are any of the current actors on the current season of Batwoman, including the new lead, I believe her name is, let me get what it is, Javicia Leslie. Are any of them gonna be saying, yeah, Ruby Rose is telling the truth, and I support what she said? Because when Charisma Carpenter, the actress from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, came out against Joss Whedon um, for his abuse against her on the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, when she came out with that, Sarah Michelle Gellar and everybody else associated with that show stood with her or stood by her. So like, yes, what she said was true. I am no longer friends with Joss Whedon. Yada yada yada. So are the co-stars of Batwoman, or are the current stars of Batwoman going to be doing the same for Ruby? My guess is no, because they are currently hired by the show, and I think I'm speculating, of course. I don't know what's in their hearts, but I think they don't want to, lose their jobs. Obviously, they don't want to get fired from Batwoman. Obviously, Ruby Rose can say these things because she did not sign any NDA, and she's not associated with the job anymore. She's not associated with the show anymore, so she's free to speak her mind. Um, Now, so that's number one. I don't think that the current stars of Batwoman will speak out. Uh, I would be surprised, if they do speak out and say like, yeah, I stand by Ruby Rose. I give them credit, man. That's a ballsy move, to call out your current employer like that, to call out your boss while you're still hired by them. Um, yeah, I would give them 1,000 credits. Number two, I wonder what the retaliation, not retaliation, the response would be from CW and WBTV, because right now Ruby Rose just posted this the last 24 hours, right? Yeah, within this past 24 hours. So it's pretty recent. So we haven't heard any response yet from, or any statement, from any spokesperson at WBTV or CW, or Greg Berlanti, or Carolyn Dries, or Peter Roth. Um, so I'm curious to hear what they say in response to Ruby. My guess is, if I were to guesstimate or predict, my guess is that their response would be, through their spokesperson. They're not gonna be like doing it on their own, or they're not gonna be tweeting it directly. Uh, that it's gonna be like a nicely written statement that sounds like an apology, but it's actually a non-apology, because they also try to, they're also going to try to save face. Remember, this show is still on, right? This show is not like, it's not like it has been canceled, or it's not like a show from the past. This show is still on, and they still wanted to continue to go on. So that statement is gonna be really watered down, as opposed to like, my bad, we're terrible and we're sorry. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna say that. It's gonna be a statement that's like a non-apology apology, if you will. Um, but that's my guess. They haven't released any response whatsoever at this hour, but that's my guess. But and then point number three, last but not least. I mean, guys, it just you've heard recently, right? The strike, a bunch of workers in entertainment business uh, are striking to get better pay, to get better working condition, and they finally reached an agreement recently. I think this past week, to get so now you understand why they were doing that, because of this kind of BS, man. This kind of bullshit, man. That Ruby Rose is exposing, like if this is how they treat their lead star, Ruby Rose. I mean, just imagine how much shittier they treat the people that were there just on the set, the crew. That those people who are striking. It's just like it's totally understandable why they were doing that. That why they were demanding better pay, better working condition. And Ruby Rose just validate that. Yeah, she just validated them basically. She's just like, yeah, those guys are telling the truth, and this is my experience as to how that works on the set. It's terrible, and I don't think that the nightmarish working condition on Batwoman is an anomaly. I don't think it's an anomaly. I think it's more common than we think. I think it happens in a lot more set than just one or two. And so it's important for voices like Ruby Rose to speak out like this, because she has, look at this, she has 17.5 million followers, man. She has influence. People, she has fans looking up to her, and fans who, she has her own army, if you will. And so, she has more leverage and more power than the boom mic guy, or the camera, the guys working the camera, or the guy working crafts. Like so when she says something, it becomes news, and that's the publicity that they needed. This kind of support that they needed, this kind of validation that they needed for their cause, to further their agenda of, like, what, we got to get better pay, we got to get better working condition, because this has gone on for too long. And yeah, so good on Ruby Rose for standing up, not just for herself, but for standing up for for the little guys, for the people that she worked with. You know, um, I would venture out to say that not a lot of lead stars would do what she did. The whole sending flowers to the injured stunt doubles, to all the stuff that she said on the Instagram stories. That's very she has a very compassionate heart, and a lot of stars are good like that. But not a lot of stars are good that like that as well. Like, a lot of stars are so in their bubble, like, what's in it for me. I don't care about the other guy in the other trailer, whatever. So good on Ruby for thinking of somebody else other than her as well. So that's really, really cool. So again, I apologize, Ruby. I'm sorry, I did not know your side of the story. I had no idea that these were happening. Holy crap. um, Now I could say that, you know what? I'm glad you're out and away from Batwoman. That show was crappy anyway. Sure, you're making like straight to digital movies that not a lot of people watch, but at least you're doing you. Ruby, you're doing what makes you happy. And hopefully you're working with people who would treat you better. With all these straight to digital movies. But yeah, Batwoman, holy crap. What a crappy show. And now we know that Batwoman is also a crappy workplace. All right, you guys, I'm going to go get breakfast. I'm going to also edit some more videos. Look at this. Check it out, my selfie photo with Ruby Rose on the at the press junket for Triple X Xander Cage. She's so nice. She's such a lovely person. She in person, yeah. She's so friendly. So thank you for tuning in, and share your thoughts in the comment section below. Hold on. I'll get some reaction here on it too. Reaction review says Ray Fisher and now her. That's right. So obviously there's a toxic culture at WB, whether it be WB handling the movies or WB TV with CW. Reaction reviews. Ruby Rose showed she had great heart. Not much would do it. Yep, she does have a compassion, and I love that about her. So that's good on her. So thank you so much for tuning in, Tyler, Barnell. I'm sorry, Darnell, 1970 DJ, Rare Content, KA, and Reaction Reviews 21. Please, you guys subscribe. What do you guys think about this whole topic of Ruby Rose and Batwoman? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, and as always, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Let's rock this.